Hello guys and welcome to the Zone of Tech. This is Daniel, and guess what? I have a new product to show you, which is the Samsung Galaxy S3 Mini. I have the younger brother of the latest and the greatest Samsung S device, which is the Samsung Galaxy S3. Because at the moment the Samsung Galaxy S4 hasn't been released yet, so yeah, the Samsung Galaxy S3 is the most powerful Samsung device on the market, and this is its child, the Samsung Galaxy S3 Mini. But before I start the video, all I want to say is thank you to my friends at Samsung Kazoo for sending me the Galaxy S3 Mini so I can review it, so please check them out. The link is in the description box below. Okay, now let's take a look at the Samsung Galaxy S3 Mini. Let's unbox this baby up and see what we get inside this beautiful white box. Okay, so on the front of the box we get a Samsung logo, an image with the Samsung Galaxy S3 Mini, and obviously the title, the name of this device. Now on the left hand side of the box we get again same thing, title and Samsung branding. On the right hand side there's nothing except for the seal. Top of the box there's a link to the Samsung website. Here we get the serial number, the color, which in this case is ceramic white. I have no idea what this is. And finally, on the bottom of the box, we do get the specs. So this is the 8GB version of the Samsung Galaxy S3 Mini. This also comes in 16GB, so don't worry if that's not too much storage for you, because it does support an SD card slot, so you can expand that memory. It also supports HSDPA Plus, which is 14.4 megabits per second, so this device is really fast. Quad band. Now taking a look at the CPU, it has a dual core 1 GHz CPU, so this is not a slow device, this is really fast. It has a 5 megapixel camera with autofocus and a VGA quality front facing camera. Now taking a look at the screen, it's a 4-inch WVGA Super AMOLED display. Now unfortunately this is a pentile matrix display, so we'll talk about that later. The battery is 1500 milliamps, which is quite good for a 4-inch device, and obviously it has GPS. And I forgot to mention that it supports the latest version of Android, which is 4.1 Jelly Bean. Oh, actually the latest one is 4.2, but this one comes with Jelly Bean out of the box. Now don't forget that the Samsung Galaxy S3 doesn't come with Jelly Bean out of the box. You need to update the Galaxy S3 in order to take advantage of the Jelly Bean, but this one comes with Jelly Bean right out of the box. Okay, now let's unbox this baby up and see what we get inside the box. So here it is, the Samsung Galaxy S3 Mini. So let's take it out of the box. Whoops, and put it to the side just for 1 second so we can see what else we get inside the box. Okay, so we get the 1500 milliamps battery, which obviously is removable, so this is a good thing because you can take 2 batteries with yourself, so yeah, you have a spare one just in case. Then you get a pair of Samsung branded headphones. Now these headphones are really good because they are in-ear headphones, unlike Apple's, which are not in-ear headphones. So as you can see, you get one pair of I have no idea how they call those rubber thingies. So you get one pair with the headphones, and then you also get 2 more pairs, a medium-sized pair and a small pair right in the box. So that's quite nice that they added this in the box. Now these headphones, they have a remote. Using this button you can answer calls or decline calls, and this is the volume up and down button. Now you also have a mic here, meaning that you can answer calls, again as I mentioned, before. You can answer calls, even control the device using the S Voice, which is the Siri-like voice assistant for Samsung devices. Also in the box you get this micro USB to USB cable. So as you probably know, all Samsung devices have this micro USB connector, which is quite good because nowadays almost every device has a micro USB connection, including the PlayStation and the Xbox, which is cool because you know, if you forget or lose the cable, you can just borrow your PlayStation cable and use that instead. And finally, the last thing in the box is the power adapter. Now this baby is quite small. As you can see, it fits in my hand. So comparing this to my MacBook Pro adapter, you can see that this baby is really small, but you know, it's a no-brainer because this is for a phone and this is for a notebook. Okay, now let's take a look at the S3 Mini. So the first thing you noticed about this when you have it in your hands is the weight. This device is really light. It only has 111.5 grams, which makes it one of the lightest phones on the market. Other than that, the design is pretty much the same as the design you find on your Galaxy S3. The only difference is being obviously the screen size, which is 4 inches in this case. And keep in mind the Samsung Galaxy S3 is a monster with 4.8 inches display. Now, as I said, the design is pretty much identical. The only differences, except for the screen size, are the front-facing camera and the proximity sensors. On the Galaxy S3, they are located on the right-hand side of the device, and also the camera is on the left-hand side of the device, and the flash is on the right-hand side. So those are the only design differences between the S Mini and the S3. Now, although this is made out of plastic, and some of you may say that it's cheap, trust me, it's not. It is plastic. Yeah, it doesn't feel like the iPhone 5 or the iPhone 4, the iPhone 4S. It does feel cheaper than the iPhones, but trust me, this is one of the best plastics I've ever had in my hands. It's really high quality, you know, not as high quality as stainless steel and glass, obviously, or aluminium, so to say, but it's really high quality. It doesn't squeak or anything when you try and press it. And yes, it does feel really good in your hands. Okay, so taking a look at the ports, on the front you get a speaker grill, front-facing camera, which is of VGA quality, that's 0.3 megapixels. Now you also get a proximity sensor, but unfortunately you do not get an ambient light sensor like, you know, most phones on the market. The Galaxy S3 has one, and it also has an LED light indicator, which is missing from this device as well. Now on the bottom you get the home button, like all Samsung devices. This is the menu button, which you cannot see because it's a capacitive button and it only lights up when you press it, but now the phone is off. And the back button. Now on the right hand side you only get the power button. On the left hand side you get the volume buttons, up and down. Okay, then on the bottom you get the charging port, which fortunately is a micro USB, which is really good because, as I mentioned previously, if you have a PlayStation or different devices that use micro USB connection, you can just use those cables and charge your S3 Mini. Now you also get a noise cancelling mic. Now on the back of the device you get a speaker grill, you get a 5 megapixel camera, which obviously takes 5 megapixel camera photos and records in 720p. So unfortunately this camera cannot record in 1080p, only in 720p. You do get a flash, which again you can use while recording videos as well, and that's pretty much it. Okay, and finally on the top you get this 3.5mm headphone jack and this dent here in order to take the back cover out. Now speaking of the back cover, let's take it off and see what else we get inside this phone. Now first of all, this back cover is really flexible. It's made out of a really flexible plastic. It's actually even more flexible than the S3 back, which is kind of weird. Anyway, here we get the slim slot, the SIM slot. Also keep in mind that this isn't a micro SIM, this is just a normal SIM. Okay, this area is for the battery, and this is for the micro USB card, which obviously, in case you didn't know, you can use to expand the memory. Okay, so let's insert the battery. And power the phone on. So not only the look but also the feel of this device is pretty much identical to the Galaxy S3. So as you can see, the menu is exactly the same. They both support the latest version of Samsung's TouchWiz, which is basically a different user interface molded, so to say, over Android 4.1. So this is pretty much a shrunken down version of the Galaxy S3. But unfortunately, among with the size, you also lose a lot of features that the Galaxy S3 has, such as the ambient light sensor, the LED light notificator. Then you also lose performance. This one only has a 1 GHz dual-core CPU compared to the quad-core CPU that the Galaxy S3 has. 1 GB of RAM compared to 2 GB of RAM. Then the camera only records in 720p compared to 1080p. Only has 5 megapixels compared to 8 megapixels. Then don't forget that the screen size is, yeah, it's a lot smaller, and the resolution is a lot lower. You only get 233 ppi with this phone compared to 306 ppi, that's pixels per inch, like the Galaxy S3. So as a conclusion, this is a really good phone, but it's not a high-end device. It's only a mid-range smartphone. It looks and feels like the Samsung Galaxy S3. So if you don't want to spend a large amount of money on the Galaxy S3, simply get this device, because although it only has a dual-core CPU, it's really fast, it doesn't lag, it's a good phone, and the camera, which I will be reviewing in probably my next video, is really good, so stay tuned for that. So this was basically it. This was my unboxing and first look of the Galaxy S3 Mini. So please give me a like if you enjoyed the video. Also please subscribe to my channel for more Galaxy S3 Mini content and also more Samsung devices. So again, thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to check me out on Facebook and Twitter. Give me a like and follow me on Twitter, and I'll see you in the next video. So as always, cheers.